Hello and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be looking at group by in SQL for data analytics. Alright, and so yeah, if you are not aware, we are currently tackling SQL for data analytics. This is the SQL series, and yeah, if you want to be a data analyst, SQL is indeed one of the things or the tools that you need to be really good at. And so in previous videos, we've looked at how to use a word clause, we looked at how to use select and from statement, we've looked at how to use wildcards like percentage and underscore. All right, and how to combine all of this. And so in today's video, we are going to be looking at how to actually use what we call group by in SQL. All right, now where is a group by? What is group by in SQL? Okay, so what this simply means, or this clause simply does, is that it helps you to group a data set based on a certain, should I quote unquote, a certain column. All right, and so you might have this entire data set and you want to group the data set according to maybe age, gender, state. All right, according to its first time borrower, campaign name. So you just want to group them. So it's more or less like you have some balls, you have a number of balls, all right, in a basket. All right, so you have so many different balls in a basket with so many different colors. All right, and so what they want to do is that, so I have all of these balls in this particular basket, but I want to know how many balls are for or have this particular color. All right, so let's say these balls, okay, in the basket, all right, they come in different colors, so red, yellow, green. All right, but they are mixed up. Okay, they are mixed up, and so for you to know how many green balls or how many red balls or yellow balls are in the basket, then it means you need to group these balls according to colors. Do you understand? In order to know how many green balls we have, how many red balls we have, and how many yellow balls that we have. All right, and that is what the group by clause is all about. It helps you to group the particular column that you want to group by. All right, and then one other thing that is important is that using group by normally works with aggregate functions. Now we've not yet started the aggregate function, but aggregate function, what that simply means is the sum, min, max, count. Those are aggregate functions, and so a lot of the time these group by clauses, they work with aggregate functions. All right, and so what I simply mean by is that, let's assume you have this particular data set. All right, and this data set has about 2,000 rows, and we have all of this, but I just want to know, so I don't want to know everything. What I simply want to know is that, looking at this database, how many females appear in this database per customer ID. So how many females are actually in this database? All right, and how many males are in this database? Or I just want to find out what is the total borrowed amount, all right, by females or by males. You can also say you want to find out the total borrowed amounts by campaign name, acquisition channel, or state. All right, and so in order for you to be able to find the total borrowed amount by this particular column, by maybe state or age or gender, acquisition name, campaign name, we have to use something we call group by. Okay, and so the group by gives you the opportunity, gives you the chance, all right, to group by in order to be able to do your aggregations based on that particular column or based on the group by function that you are using. All right, so let's delve right in and let me show you an example of what I mean by this. All right, and so let's say I have this particular data set. So I'll be using three main examples. Okay, so I have this particular data set. Now looking at this particular data set, one thing that I want to get or derive from this data set is that I want to know how many females and males appear in this particular data set. I want to know if there are more males than females in this particular data set, or there are more females to males in this particular data set. All right, and so what I can simply do is I can say, okay, so select all from this particular data set, which is marketing. So we are still using the select from, all right, in order to derive information. So I'm going to say, so select all from this particular data set, all right, and then I'm going to say group by, no, I'm not going to use select all right, so I'm just going to use select gender, all right, and I'm going to say I want the total number of females and males, so I'm going to use count as the aggregation function. So select gender, and then I want to count the total. So with that, I'm going to base the count on this particular column, the customer ID, since it's unique. Okay, this is a unique column. Okay, so I'm going to say select gender, count customer ID. All right, from marketing. Now if I run this, you are going to get an error because there's an aggregation function, and so you need to come down here. So if you look at it, it says column marketing gender is invalid in the select because it's not containing either an aggregate function or the group by clause. All right, so this gender is invalid, all right, because it's not containing either an aggregate function or the group by clause. So what I'm simply saying is that we need to group by the gender. All right, so now I'm going to say select gender, count this from marketing, and I'm going to say group by gender. All right, I'm going to say group by gender, sorry. And then when I execute this, now this is going to show you the total number of males and the total number of females, that the whole data. So it has summarized. Yeah, let me use that word. So the group by helps you to summarize data set based on a particular column that you are targeting or you are looking at. All right, and so in this scenario, this regard, we can say that because we just want to find the total number of males and the total number of females in the data set, this particular query has summarized everything into just males and females. All right, so it tells you that okay, this is for males and then this is for females. All right, so that's how the group by clause works. Now we can also use not just count, but we can also use sum. But another example, I don't want us to go there now with the aggregations, but let's say okay, so now we have this. Now we don't need for the gender, but we need for the state. All right, so we want to know how many people are from each state, okay, in this particular data set. So what I can say is I can say okay, so select state, which is this. All right, and then count the customer ID. So we are counting all of this, so we are summarizing everything according to the state. All right, so I'm going to say group by state. All right, and then now I'm going to select everything and execute this again. And you can see that it's grouping by the state. So in here we have Kano being 409. So it simply means that 409 people from that particular data set, or this particular data set, are people located at Kano, and then 404 located at Lagos, and then this is located at Port Harcourt, and then Ibadan and Abuja. So it summarizes it for you to know what your data set is about or what your data set entails. All right, before you go ahead and then you start doing your analysis, excuse me, or whatever you want to do with that particular data set. Now it doesn't just work with this, it can also work with age, customer ID, acquisition channel, so what have you. So if you want to group by, you just want to summarize a particular column based on, so let's one other example. Let me just do another example for you to show you. So let's say now we have this. Now we don't want the sum. Now I just want to find the total borrowed amount. All right, so I want to find the total borrowed amount by males and females. So what I can see is that, all right, so I want the total borrowed amount by males and by females. So by males and females simply means this is supposed to be gender. All right, so this is supposed to be gender, and so we can group by. Now if the select statement is different from the group by statement, what you are grouping by, if this state is not in this particular select statement, it's going to give you an error. See, you can't group by state because we are not even looking for state. All right, we can only group by what is here, and that is gender. All right, and so what is a group by gender? So what it's going to do is that select gender, some some total borrowed amount, because total borrowed amount, that's what we're looking for. All right, group by gender. So now let's see, and now this is something. So it's telling us that the total borrowed amount by males is this, and the total borrowed amount by females is actually this as well. All right, and so this is how to use the group by function. The group by function simply helps you to summarize data based on an aggregation. All right, so when you are grouping by, there should be an aggregation. Okay, you should be aggregating, and when I talk about aggregating, using the sums and the max and the average and then the count, so you have an aggregation, and then you are using the aggregation in conjunction with the group by function. All right, to summarize that particular select column that you are looking at. All right, now you can also add some few to this. So let's say I want to add state, okay, and I want to add age. All right, you are also free to do this, but in this regard, if you try executing this, you are going to get this, because now you have three other columns, and so they all need to appear at the group by. All right, so you are going to say group by state, age, and gender. All right, so now if I execute this, now this is going to work. Do you understand? And so you can't add all columns here and then just group by one. You need to group by all the columns. All right, and that will give you this. Do you understand? And so yeah, this is how to use a group by function. And in our next video, we are going to be looking at aliasing before we continue to order by. And so yeah, if this is something that you enjoy, and if there is something that you like to get to know more about, like I keep saying, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that when I upload any video like this, you'll be the first to be notified. All right, again, don't forget to leave a comment down below if there's something you want to add, or there's something that you need clarification on, and I'll be sure to attend to you. Like I always say, be sure to take care of yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.